Alright, this is Downwhere, and I've got a new idea here for you. At least I think it's new. As far as I know, nobody else has done it, but if they have, then hey, I ripped them off. If that's what you want to say. I have all these old replays from all the years of Warcraft and everything, or I have some of them, and I also found, like, battlereports.com seems to still have a lot of old replays that actually still work. So I've been downloading a lot of those, and I found a lot of them to be pretty interesting. And I decided to start this new feature called Back to the Future Audios. Basically all that is I guess on WCReplays.com I will put the old replay and the audio and maybe even the old patch file, since Blizzard for some reason decided to delete all their old patches off their FTP as far as I can tell. At least a lot of the really old ones like this. Like this particular one I'm doing is on patch 1.02. That's right. This has got to be like 2002, 2003 when this shit came out. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Basically the idea of this is I take old replays and I do new commentaries on them. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, awesome. Alright then. Now, since a lot of you probably aren't going to want to go through all the shit and annoyance of depatching to 1.02, which, as far as I know, none of these depatching programs let you do, really, you're probably just going to want to watch it on YouTube, so hey, it's up to you. I'm also putting it on YouTube, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So, whenever I'm doing this shit, I always got to remember that some people are watching it the old-fashioned way, so I have to remember to do things like sync up and tell you what I'm looking at, since when you're watching on YouTube you are seeing what I was looking at. I put this shit in the old bugs and imbalance folder for some reason, even though it's not really that. So 1.02, engage the flux capacitor. We need 1.21 gigawatts so we can go back to the future and watch this replay. Or, you know, okay, shut up. Alright, we're starting the replay now. So it's going to be Lordhelmet and Tillerman, which was Tillerman's old big-time 2-on-2 AT ladder teammate, versus Crazyassassin and CrazyJim. Now, let's go ahead and pause this at 15 seconds, I guess. Just like everybody always does. Guess I'm going to watch it from Tillerman's point of view, because Tillerman is the best player of all times. All times! That's right, grubby. Take that and shove it up your ass. Alright, paused at 15 seconds. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you're just watching me pause it at 15 seconds. Whoa, it's all trippy and stuff, man. Like, it's like a game inside the game, and I don't know what I'm talking about. So anyway, 15 seconds in. The map is Lost Temple. I'm going to unpause it. 3, 2, 1, unpause. Okay, also, if you don't know who Club Balla is, he was a guy in charge of Warcraft replays when it was still called that. I think it's at one point. There's an article on WC Replays somewhere that tells some of the stuff about what he did. I thought it gave more information than it actually did, but whatever. He was kind of a dickhead, and he got fired. Then this other guy bought the site named Shindi or Shindai or something, and then he brought Balla back, which a lot of people didn't like. And then he left again when I think Rain Vision bought the thing from Shinde and blah blah blah. Anyway, if you've never heard his voice, you can go on YouTube, and I put some of his shitty audio commentaries up there. His ghetto audios that were basically taking WarcraftStrategy.com audios and recommentating them and putting them out for free, because, you know, that would really hurt Warcraft strategies real bad. Because instead of hearing like Tillerman or Crazyassassin or Ironclad or somebody doing an audio, you get to hear fucking Club Balla with his dick in his nose. And he must have a big nostril, or he's got pencil dicks up his well, okay, anyway, if you never heard him, you can hear him on YouTube. I haven't called this game at all so far, but nothing's really going on. It's just the beginning of the game. It is 1.02 though, so there might be some differences. But anyway, if you haven't heard him before, you can hear him on YouTube. And at the end of this, I found a text interview that Balla did with Crazyassassin, which pretty much showed what douchebags both of them were. So I thought it would be funny to record it, me just reading it, which, hey, it's 8 minutes long, so you may or may not find that entertaining, so you can always turn it off at the end, or just not listen to it. But I did an awesome Club Balla impersonation. If you check out Lordhelmet's altar, he's going to get detonated as soon as he comes out of that altar, I think, down in the south. And Crazyassassin, I find that interesting. I detonated right on his Demon Hunter. Look at that, 100 mana it took off back in those days for for detonation. Yeah, so it's just Crazyassassin being interviewed by Balla. And I read it, and I guess I'll include the text file somewhere so you can read along with it if you want to. But, yeah. Alright, enough of this babbling and trying to remember what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm going to go back to the actual game. If you look in the middle, CrazyJim is doing what everybody did in those days and creeping the upper left and bottom right of the Lost Temple, trying to get those Tomes of Experience. Crazyassassin's got the one on the bottom right. Tillerman picked the Dreadlord first. You're going to see here some of the old shit, like there was like no animation at all for like teleports. You would just vanish. It was kind of like you really did teleport or something, with no fancy special effects. I'm assuming that's what it would look like in real life if you teleported. It's just, whoop, you're just gone. Actually, there wouldn't be any noise either, because there isn't in this. CrazyJim chases off Tillerman's Dreadlord there in the middle, and they're continuing to creep the center. From what I've remember and what I've read on the description of this, I think Tillerman and Lordhelmet were close to number 1 on 2-on-2 AT ladder, and CrazyJim and Crazyassassin were both number 1 on the 2-on-2 AT ladder. So this is kind of like whoever wins this is probably going to move up or stay at number 1. But yeah, they're creeping out their natural expansions for Tillerman. Potion of Invulnerability. That's an interesting drop from those creeps, isn't it? And look at the graphic. There's like weird graphics things. Potion of Invulnerability. Look at the graphics on Tillerman's Dreadlord. It looks just like a Potion of Restoration. I think they still have those, but I think they might have changed the graphics even again. It's not that little red vial of blood or whatever it is. But the funny thing is they use the same graphic twice. Someone else will get a Potion of Restoration in this game, and it's the same graphics. Boots of Speed drops. They couldn't buy those from the shops back in the day. Crazyassassin's Demon Hunter has Boots of Speed that he got from one of these creep camps. Those grunts of CrazyJim only have 680 hit points instead of the 700 they have now. That's interesting stuff, isn't it? I don't know, I think the main draw of this is just seeing the number 1 and close to number 2 AT teams play against each other, and plus I haven't seen that many games where Tillerman and Crazyassassin are playing against each other, so it gives me plenty of chances to do my lame impersonations of them, especially the Tillerman one, which sounds nothing like a Scottish person. And here comes Tillerman. He's trying to he's got Lordhelmet with him there, and they're going to jack Crazyassassin in the middle at the fountain. And watch this instant teleport coming up here. 100 level 1 mana burn did 100 there, and boom, they're gone. They disappeared. So they finish off the creeps. Oh yeah, the middle creeps there have like really weak-ass pussy level 3 creeps or something back then too. So they jacked Assassin. He has to find that interesting that they would jack me with no lube, because I have very sensitive skin and I got some rub burns on my dick. So now they're checking out the Ogre Lord. Look at the Ogre Lord camp at the Goblin Laboratories. There's no Bloodlust creep there, Ogre type guy. So I'm assuming that would make it a lot easier to creep those. Let's check up. CrazyJim's creeping out his natural expansion with Crazyassassin. If you're wondering why he's Crazyassassin, it's because that was the clan that CrazyJim started. Because, you know, those guys are crazy. They drink milk that's like a few days past the expiration date and other nutty, wacky things like that. But that was the clan. So I guess he was only Assassin before that, which is weird to me because I've always known him as Crazyassassin. Or, as he pointed out in one of his audios, Sin, as some of his buddies call him. So you might be saying, Sin. What do you, I can't express to you how much that enrages me to hear someone say that people call him Sin, like that's some cool nickname. You know, all my groupie bitches call me Sin. They're like, Sin, can you fuck us again? And I'm like, I don't know, babe. I just fucked you 5 seconds ago. I'm only one man. Alright, Sin. So Sin and Jim are... How come CrazyJim doesn't get a cool nickname? He's just Jim. Anyway, I don't know what happened to this guy. CrazyJim was like the first guy to get the 1500 win icon after the game had been out for like 2 months. So just think of that shit. That's insane. Anyway, Balla brings that up in the awesome interview. If you want to know how to do a Balla impersonation, if you don't want to fully commit and just blow a guy, then all you do is what I did and pinch your
nose like this and then talk in a high-pitched voice. This is Club Balla and I love cock.
See? It's that easy. Special tips from the Go-Suit Downwhere. So, Tillerman's got his Death Knight that just came out. And he's got his level 3 Dreadlord, CrazyJim, Crazyassassin. They got a Rock Golem. Crazyassassin's got a Rock Golem. That almost sounded like... Oh shit. There's got to be a fight in the middle. Crazyassassin, Mana Burn. Oh yeah, I think they also made it so you can't Mana Burn other Demon Hunters, but they just did it right there. But Entangle goes off on Lordhelmet's Huntress, and he's gonna lose it. Oh no, disaster! Yes, that's from the Tillerman Emotional Roller Coaster video on YouTube. I'm such a YouTube whore, I'm plugging it as if I can make any money off of it, like awesome guys like Fred, who I just discovered because Taz posted it on the member forums and made it so I can't unsee it. Lordhelmet's getting chased back into his base. Fred sucks dicks, and Crazyassassin's gonna back off there. Meets back up with CrazyJim. They're getting ready for their big keg party. Sin and Jim, they throw the best parties in town. Everybody knows it. They're going back to... Let's try to see what's actually going on here in the game. Okay, now look at Tillerman's Dreadlord. He's got Potion of Invulnerability and Potion of Restoration. Oh look, it's the same graphic. Do you think that might have been confusing, Blizzard? What the fuck are you thinking? Well, it is pretty early on in the game. Another funny thing I thought was the patch file for... Oh shit. There's a fight going on at Lordhelmet's base. The patch file for 1.02 is only like 1.7 megabytes. Lordhelmet's Demon Hunter's getting focused on, and he vanishes, aka teleports. There was kind of a sound effect, as long as you were in the vicinity that you could hear it if you're near where the guy ends up. But if you're just right there where it happened, and Tillerman ports in, they just disappear. Tillerman ports in. It's going to be a fight here. You can't hold the Alt key, which is really inconvenient. Tillerman's going to lose his Death Knight, which he does. They pop out the Red Drake there. Crazyassassin gets his Demon Hunter slept, and he's going to have a headache in the morning. I'm throwing as many references as I can to old audios, which is kind of stupid. And looks like the crazies are going to have to retreat. They're not as crazy as they thought. Crazyassassin's Demon Hunter is getting focused on now. He's getting his ass whipped. Look out, Sin! Look out! No! Oh God, Sin lost his Demon Hunter. Lordhelmet almost loses his, but no. Dreadlord pops the Potion of Invulnerability. I wonder how good Necromancers were back then. I guess they must have been fairly decent. I haven't really seen that many 1.02 replays, to be honest. But, looks like the crazies just got their shit pushed in. And CrazyJim, Lordhelmet is pinging CrazyJim's natural expansion. Jim has built a tower there. They're totally map hacking, obviously. It's not just, logic that, let's see if he expanded. So he built a tower, but he's not building his expansion. Let's see how much money he's got. Maybe he can't afford it yet. CrazyJim, he's only got 323 gold. It's really hard to keep track of all the changes, too. Like, buildings obviously cost different amounts of money. I think when Frozen Throne came out, they made it so everything cost a buttload more wood than it ever did before. Because I remember everyone complaining about it. They're like, how am I supposed to get this much wood? And then B showed up and goes, there goes chapter wood. And he saved us all. He brought us the solution that we so desperately needed. Death Knight gets resurrected by Tillerman. And he's going to send his Death Knight to the center. Obviously. How the fuck did that die, man? Jesus Christ! Well, Tillerman, he got hit a bunch of times, and then that little number, 725, went down to 0, and then he died. Oh, thank you. You're welcome, Tillerman. I'm good at clearing this shit up. So, it looks like the crazies are losing, which is not good. Oh yeah, this is also back when mass casters still worked. Check out those shamans of CrazyJim, or shamans. They have piercing damage, bloodlust, all that fun shit. And CrazyJim's gonna have to run like a bitch. Oh shit, look how long sleep lasts back in the days. Sleep on the Tauren Chieftain there. It's like level 2 sleep, I guess. He's still asleep. He's still asleep. He's still fucking asleep. This is not good, fellas. Crazyassassin and CrazyJim have to run back into their base, and that Tauren Chieftain, Rip Van fucking Winkle, just got killed, finally. After being asleep for 10 years. What the hell was that shit? Yeah, I guess back in the day, I think I remember people bitched about sleep. I don't know what the exact numbers were and how long it lasted, but it was a long time. CrazyJim wisely leaves all his hurt units over by his natural expansion, where they can be easily killed by Lordhelmet and Tillerman. And GG on the grunts. Negatory GG. I gotta find a way to get more of those ironclad audios so I can put those on YouTube. Okay, it's gonna be a fight here. They're fighting with the uphill advantage, the crazy people are. Crazy guys, the nuts, wacky, insane fellas. And there's lightning shield going off all over the place on those ghouls. It's getting dispelled by the dryads. Tillerman and Lordhelmet are fighting at a disadvantage. Oh no, it's a disaster! Oh, they're gonna lose! Oh no, they're fighting on the hill! What are you doing, man? Oh no! If you don't know what this annoying impersonation is, watch the audio of Tillerman freaking out watching, well, let's call this and I'll go back to that. Sleep goes off on the Keeper of the Grove. Crazyassassin and CrazyJim are just getting owned here. And they have to run back to their base again. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's, I just called it Tillerman's emotional roller coaster. And he keeps freaking out. The best part is probably in one of them, he starts going, oh, I love that shit! Oh! When someone uses Wand of Lightning, and he's like, oh! Like that, and it's really creepy. But he also freaks out when people's heroes are going to die. It's a big money tournament. And, oh no! The Death Knight, he died! Disaster! Death Knight died. Another lightning shield going off on another ghoul, but he's too far away to hit anything with it, and now he comes back in. Level 5 on the Dreadlord now. Crazyassassin that got an invulnerability pot, which I guess you could tell the difference between that and the Potion of Restoration somehow, because they only had one of them. And, Keeper of the Grove, they have to keep backing up. They're fighting with the burrows, shooting all the little fun spears at them and shit. Crazyassassin, oh no, he's gonna lose his... Run, Sin, run! He's gonna lose his Demon Hunter. But now he comes back for more, because apparently he didn't want to live. And he come back, and now he's getting focused on by all those dryads. He's definitely gonna die. He's dead. Keeper the... Look at Tillerman's fucking Dreadlord. He's got like 50 hit points. Entangle him. He doesn't have enough mana to do that. But come on, just hit him a few times or whatever. They gotta run away. They pretty much just lost their ass again. And looks like Tillerman is gonna be successful. Thank you, GG. I have a funny audio of him and Tillerman, him and Crazyassassin. I guess when they worked at WarcraftStrategy.com together and did audios, I guess it was kind of like a marriage of convenience or something, where they played together on 2-on-2 AT teams. Because it didn't seem like they really liked each other that much. At least Tillerman didn't seem to like Crazyassassin. He keeps bitching about how stupid he is and stuff. Oh, Lordhelmet and Crazyassassin is going to get owned by Lordhelmet and Tillerman there in the middle. He has to run away. I'm gonna go heal at the fountain. I find it interesting that they act like they own the giant and take it. So, yeah, Crazyassassin wants to go heal, but he can't. They have no expansions. They're totally screwed. Let's see what the other guys got. Yeah, Lordhelmet's got an expansion building now, but it's not done. Yeah. Tillerman's bitching about Crazyassassin not moving his other guys away so his Demon Hunter could get level 6, because back then you could creep to level 6. So he's being stupid. And he's just talks about how Crazyassassin's not exactly the smartest guy out there. And he's just totally bashing him and talking about how stupid he is. And I found it interesting. I did. So you can check that out. I think I named it something awesome like T-Man and Sin, because I had to give Tillerman his own kick-ass nickname that all the dudes out there like to call him. Hello, this is T-Man, and I'm Sin. And together we are a buddy cop team that takes down all the criminals. So T-Man and Sin taking on these other two guys. You can check that out if you want. I thought that was fun. So yeah, let's call the game some more. Also, support WCReplays.com. I don't know if the site is like losing followers or whatever, but it seems like there's not as much activity. Whatever. Yeah, big fight going on. Crazyassassin wisely separates himself from his life partner, CrazyJim, and goes over there to get gang raped by Tillerman and Lordhelmet. See ya. You're fucked. You're fucked. GG! And Tillerman using some kick-ass unholy frenzy. You don't really see that very often, I don't think. Maybe you do. Who knows? I don't know what the hell the deal is with the graphics on it either. It's like a fucking cloud of confusion over the guy's head or something. Well, that means he attacks faster, because he doesn't know what's going on. So, uprooting of the trees, which pretty much means, it's GG. If you look at that Ancient of Lore, it's still got fortified armor, even though it's uprooted. Which, as you know, back then, the trees kept the same armor. Oh, CrazyJim quits! Crazyassassin is gonna have to say GG. He's not the smartest guy out there, He's gonna have to quit. I'm sure he was just talking shit at the time. I find that interesting, and I think that you're a fucking faggot and should shut the fuck up, and things like that, because that was before they worked together at Warcraft Strategies. So, Tillerman and Lordhelmet, I don't know exactly how the experience in the ladder and everything worked back then, so who knows how much they moved up, but I think at one time they were number 1 also. But if you listen to this interview that I'm about to put here, you can read along with the text. I'll put it somewhere. If you're watching on WC Replays, I'll put it in the zip file. If you're watching on YouTube, I guess I'll put a link to it in the info section. So, this is Downwhere, and I hope you enjoyed this Back to the Future audio. So, now we're going to play this awesome thing. It's 8 minutes long. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, I can't blame you. Hey, but you might find it interesting, because I thought it was funny. So, there we go.
This is Club Balla, and it's time for a go-so interview with Crazyassassin for WarcraftRoleplayers.com. Welcome, and thanks for agreeing to this interview. First off, I'm sure our visitors would like to know a little bit about you, so anything you feel comfortable sharing about your name, age, location, etc., please do.
My name is Mike Templar, I'm 18 years old, and I live in Oregon.
What gateway do you normally play on? Have you considered playing on other gateways, or have you played on others in the past?
I normally play on West, though I've played a little bit of East. Other gateways lag too much for me.
What type of games do you prefer to play, since you have at one time or another held number 1 in all game types on Lordaeron? What offers the most challenge for you, and what is the most fun to play?
The most fun to play is 2 versus 2 AT, though good partners are required for it to be enjoyed. 1 versus 1 is also very fun, though I wouldn't say any are very challenging.
What made you choose the name Assassin, and when did you join Clan Crazy?
I have used the handle Assassin for a great many years, probably about 6. I personally think it's a fantastic name, though a lot of people use it. It defines how I play the game well. I joined Clan Crazy because during the beta, me and Jim became very good friends, getting both number 1 and number 2 in AT.
What's the current state of Clan Crazy? I noticed the channel Lordaeron is defunct, and no one besides you is hardly ever online playing games.
Our channel fell apart because I could no longer host the bots once I went to college, and basically newbies and assholes flooded the channel. As of right now, as far as I know, Clan Crazy exists, just not many other members actively play very much.
Do you still talk to CrazyJim, and what game is he now playing 20 hours a day?
Jim doesn't play 20 hours a day, ass boy, and yes, I still talk to him. I'm not sure what game he's moving on to next, but it would probably be an MMORPG, since a lot of good MMORPGs are coming out soon.
Can you elaborate on how assassin.warcraftrealplays.com came to be, and what exactly the site offers to players? Why would someone join your site?
Basically, this all came about because of my extreme disgust with replays in general, and I figured Blizzard would never remove them, despite my frequent requests. Basically, my site offers the chance to get better at Warcraft 3 directly by my help. This is possible through replay chat sessions, as well as personal training time. The reason someone would join my site would be one of 2 reasons. Most likely a combination of both, though. Mainly to become a better player, through my expertise at the game of Warcraft, and direct involvement with my members via chat sessions, among other things. Also, access to a tremendous amount of replays directly. Quite simply, hundreds of them are at my members' fingertips, instead of the handful at other sites like WarcraftReplays.com. Also, they on some level probably join for entertainment value of seeing something no other website has to offer. Replays of me against other high-level gamers.
Let's go back. Can you elaborate on why exactly you have a disgust for replays in general? How would opening a site about replays be something a person with disgust for replays would want to do?
My disgust from replays comes from the fact that in StarCraft they are designed for the community to police itself, and its problems with cheating. At Warcraft 3's release, there were no cheats, and hence no need for replays. Basically, all they did was give away good player strategies, and since I invented a ton of the strategies which I know was used at the game's release, people ripped off my strategies like a Kmart during the Los Angeles riots. When you cannot get rid of something, the least you can do is make it worthwhile. Most people watch replays but learn very little. My members, on the other hand, have the ability to learn far more than most people do from replays.
Let's be honest with everyone here. The only reason that you're actually going through all this trouble to provide such great strategy discussion replays with your members is to make money, correct? People seem to think that you are running all the way to the bank, and although I know you cannot release exact figures, is it safe to say that you are barely scraping by as a poor college student, even with the minimal extra income you earn from the site?
Yes, I am a poor college student, and without money, of course, it wouldn't be worth my time to create such a site. Quite simply, the money does aid me greatly in paying for college, and it allows me to do something I enjoy. Play video games.
No new Bentleys, though?
Balla, did you take your dumb shit pills this morning? Because that's the only conclusion I could come up with for you having that question.
LOL! Anyways, what are your Warcraft 3 accomplishments? Ladder, tournaments, and other ways?
Ladder number 1 in 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4 at the same time as number 1 in RT. I was also the first player to achieve both 250 and 500 win icons in the world. At the time, I also had number 2 in 2v2 and 3v3, which means I had 6 of the 7 number 1 and number 2 ranks possible. As for tournaments, I have yet to win a tournament, and have entered about 5. I was in the semifinals at the Warcraft 3 beta tourney, as well as number 3 in Scourge in the World $2,000 tournament. I also hold the achievement for having Ariled X, a famous shit-talking homo, who I quote said, "You are superior to me at a computer game."
LOL! You are famous for your night off play, but ever since you opened AssassinWarcraftOnlyPlays.com, you have been playing random on AssassinWR.com. How has the Switch been for you, and what matchups are really your weaknesses in random?
The Switch is incredibly easy. All it required was practice and some of the matchups I had little experience in. This game is rather simple, and there is not really any in-depth strategies you have to learn for other races. My worst matchup is by far Orc vs. Orc, and it has nothing to do with complexities. I just find the matchup incredibly boring with very little choices, so I always get lazy in Orc vs. Orc games and usually end up losing because of lack of effort. I mean, it's arguable in some matchups you have some choices, but I think in Night Elf vs. Night Elf you have far more choices than in Orc vs. Orc.
What are the biggest things that you feel need to be changed for 1.05? Do you think we will see 1.05 anytime soon?
I hope we see 1.05 soon. The game becomes worse every day. The biggest changes, I think, are to reduce the fucking luck factor. This can easily be done by balancing the items. A few months ago, CrazyJim posted on the BNet forums a great list of how to fix the items. I think if those changes were made, then the game would be twice as good, especially at the higher level of gameplay. Another way to fix items is to make it so you can select the item you want via tokens. Basically, pick up certain level tokens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. You then click on the token and then choose the item you want, and it appears in your inventory. Also, certain balance changes have to be made. The most prevalent on my mind is Spellcaster damage, Black Citadel, and Ancient. Certain spells also have to be changed in my mind, but if the other changes I listed above were done, I would be very satisfied.
Your style of play, especially with Night Elf, tends to be very aggressive, and it is almost centered around good harassment. Why do you choose to play this way, and what advantages and disadvantages do you feel this poses for you?
It's a severe disadvantage playing like this, with the game basically centered around creeping. The choice I make of not creeping very much is the one that puts me at a disadvantage. The only advantage is it allows me to remain sane, because if I play this game like most people, where I creep for 20 minutes and battle my opponent, I would probably go insane.
What are your favorite maps, and what do you think of map imbalances, favoritism, especially in tournaments? What maps are good for what races?
Lost Temple is the fairest map, which gives all races an equal opportunity. I think maps that are not fair are ones like Tranquil Pass, where wrestling is impossible. I also think that Scorched Basin is a pretty fair map, but not for the way most people play. Fast tank and bunker in while creeping with a small force. So they perceive it as unfair because of the strategy they chose to use.
In your opinion, who are the best players in this game at the moment? Are there any players you feel are severely underrated or overrated?
I can only speak for players I've personally played. I think the players who compete with me are Tillerman, and Kane the Feared competes in tournaments, but I can kick his ass any day I want. I think a tremendous amount of players are overrated, especially those that just get level 25, and for some reason are considered good. Considering I can get like 25 levels in one day if I want, it's not all that hard of a task.
Since you've recently taken the #1 spot from Rex J. Young, have you considered getting your AssassinWR.com to #2 as a random player? Do you think this is something you might try soon?
If I'm bored, sure. I really don't concern myself with ladder ranks much. When I first got the #1 and everything, I really enjoyed doing that, but now it's just kind of repetitive. I held #1 ranks in so many different ladders for so long it's not special.
What do you think of some of the most important tips you can give to a player who's trying to become better at this game?
I think players should only concern themselves with themselves. Too many times, players who want to become good, or delude themselves into thinking they're good, get involved in chatcraft stupidity on who is the best and how good players are from replays and all the other stupid shit that goes along with Battle.net. If you want to become better, don't concern yourself with your ratio, concern yourself with how and why you lost. Also, don't piss away time doing stupid shit like chatting on forums and who is the best and why, or in popular channels waiting for top players to come around. Concern yourself with how you play the game and how you want to improve. If you're going to waste the time to play the game, at least be good at it. There's no excuse for sucking at a game. You can say all you want about how you don't care and how you don't have time. Simple fact is if you play 15 games a month, you should improve. Also, I don't think playing 1,000 games will make you better. I guarantee you, I am not any better than I was when this game was first launched.
Any closing thoughts?
I'd like to thank the people that have helped me gain from this game, like the good folks at Warcraft Strategy, even though I no longer work for them. I also want to thank the people who host money with tournaments, so good players like myself can make money off this game, like Warcraft Replays, Warcraft Strategy, and MFO. Finally, I want to thank Blizzard for producing this game, for if I did not have Warcraft 3, I wouldn't be making money.
Thank you for taking the time to do this interview with us, even though you have to because I own your soul. I own your soul.